Hello everyone, this is a video about stevia and whether it's okay to work with that on a carnivore slash keto diet, and also does it kill Lyme. I'm on vacation this week and as such using a different format for my videos because I don't have a great place to record on my phone like I usually do. So just before jumping into the video, as per usual, nothing I'm saying should be construed as medical advice. This is for informational purposes only, and if you need medical advice, please talk to your healthcare provider to get that advice. So a question was posted on one of my other videos just about whether it's okay to work with stevia when using a carnivore keto diet. And the long and short of it is that stevia is it's an interesting substance. You know, it's a naturally occurring plant alcohol. It fits into a category of uh, nutrient called polyol, and they're unique because they are 0 calorie. They, don't raise they're not supposed to raise blood sugar in any meaningful way based on their innate nutritional properties. Yet, nonetheless, some folks do find that they have a hard time getting into ketosis or maintaining ketosis when they are consuming stevia or other polyols like erythritol or xylitol. And so question is like, well, how would that happen? You know, these polyols don't directly increase blood sugar, so how could that take you out of ketosis? But interestingly enough, whenever we consume something that's sweet, and if anyone's tried stevia or erythritol or xylitol, you can certainly attest to the fact that, man, these things are mighty, mighty sweet. When we consume something sweet, there are certain pathways that are activated in our bodies, including, increasing insulin and other physiological pathways that get engaged. That basically our brains are saying, like, oh, there's something sweet, therefore we must be expecting a blood sugar elevation because of that. And because the brain thinks, oh, sweet means carbohydrates. These polyols, to my understanding, they're quite rare in nature, all things considered, like at least in really large appreciable amounts. So to, really get like a whole concentrated extract of stevia or xylitol or erythritol, it takes a fair bit of processing to get there. So our brains don't really realize that, like, oh, this doesn't have a bunch of carbs in it. So there can be a physiological response as if you're eating a bunch of carbs. Now, again, a lot of folks do just fine in terms of maintaining ketosis when they are consuming stevia and other polyols. As evidenced by the fact that so many keto-friendly recipes like fat bombs and various keto desserts and things like that, they have these types of sweeteners in there, and people can maintain ketosis by consuming them. But some folks have trouble with them. Now, I would say in my experience, it's maybe 1 in 25, 1 in 30 patients where that might be an issue. So it's not super, super common, but it does come up from time to time. In terms of whether stevia is an issue with the carnivore diet, in my experience, it's really just a case by case basis. I find it's usually fine, but some folks will certainly find that if they start consuming stevia, like say they're doing a strict carnivore diet, or they're doing a meat-based diet where they were strict carnivore, they're gradually phasing foods in, they bring in stevia or some other polyol, and a lot of the times they'll tolerate it just fine, but sometimes they don't. To my understanding, the big reason why that would be the case is because polyols are a fermentable type of, like, they are a fermentable sugar alcohol. So if folks listening, if you're familiar with the low FODMAPs diet, it's a fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyol. So the P in FODMAP is polyol. So these sugar alcohols are fermentable. So some folks will find that especially if they have pre-existing SIBO or LIBO or whatnot, they may find that they get more gassy and bloated when they consume stevia. So again, it's case by case, like everything. There's no one size fits all, but stevia is certainly not a true carnivore diet. Stevia would not be allowed because there really isn't any plant matter on the carnivore diet. But with a meat-based diet, or if a person's phasing foods back in, stevia is a pretty rare culprit that's going to cause a flare-up. And then finally, this wasn't part of the question, but I just thought, well, it's supposed to be about stevia, might as well mention about Lyme. So there was a petri dish study from many moons ago, basically showing that stevia was incredibly effective against Lyme in a petri dish. Once again, it was shown to be, if memory serves, like as good as triple antibiotic therapy. It's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yet in clinical practice, I found that very, very few patients actually had a clinical response to stevia. They have subsequently done some other petri dish studies looking at the impact of stevia, and if memory serves, I don't believe that they've ever replicated those really impressive studies from the original study on stevia. So I don't know if it was a certain type of stevia from a certain part of the world or some special property to it, or maybe it was just, I don't know, it was a flawed study. I don't really know, but clinically I haven't seen stevia really pack much punch against Lyme. So that is my video about stevia. If anybody has any questions or comments about this topic, please post in the comment section below. And otherwise, I will leave it there for now.